Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. Here to go through Pep's press conference. Pep's press conference ahead of the game against Fulham up in Manchester. Sadly, because Manchester is in Tier 3, there are no fans. Let's clean that webcam a little bit. So there's no fans at the game, which is a shame. But it is what it is. You have to take it on the chin, and hopefully sometime in the new year we might get some fans at games. But big game, obviously. Each team needs to get something out of the game. City obviously want to win to try and stay in touch with the leading teams, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, etc. And obviously Fulham, they're just outside the relegation zone at the moment. They want to keep it that way, try and scramble as many points as they can this season to avoid relegation or avoid that fight against relegation. So the things we're going to talk about today, guys, obviously Aguero injury situation. So what's the Aguero update? A little bit on Sterling, a little bit on Foden, Fernandinho's contract situation. Obviously, it's in the last year of his contract. Pep's 700th game. And one or two other little bits and pieces. A little bit about Messi. He was asked a question about Porto's letter, and I'll give you the answer to that. And that's about it. That's the most important stuff. And then obviously later on tonight at 10:30, you'll get the embargoed part. The embargoed part of the press conference. You'll get some more details then. Let's see if anybody's on board. Hi, Chris. How you doing, mate? I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Hope you are too. We've got 9 people allegedly around. No one commenting. But anyway, that means I'm good to go. I'm going to get cracking. Start talking about this press conference. Here we go. Aguero. He's not fit to play against Fulham. It's what I said a few days ago, guys. Pep's first answer confirmed that Aguero is getting better, but he won't play against Fulham. So that's that. That's that indeed. He's been training with the lads. He trained with the lads today, apparently, but he's not going to be fit for Fulham. So I said the best you'd get is Aguero on the bench for 10 or 15 minutes at Fulham. That ain't happening. And the worry is it's going to be difficult for him to play in the derby. So I think you should push that out of your mind. He'd have to get some minutes against, in my opinion, he'd have to get some minutes against Marseille to be able to feature in the derby. And to be honest, Derby at best on the bench. He's got a wonderful record against United, but I think we're stuck. He's going to be on the bench. Hi, Paul. Hi, Faris. And hi, Leah Teal. So let's keep going with this. Porto's letter. Obviously, you remember Porto put this newsletter criticising City, criticising Pep, talking about Bernardo Silva's 1 match ban for racism last year. Obviously, ignoring the hypocritical fact that their fans were guilty, as proven by UEFA, and fined as much for their racist behaviour to City players when we played them. Was it in Europa League? I can't remember, years ago. Quite conveniently forget about that. Quite conveniently forget about their manager, Conceição, being banned for, was it 4 or 5 months for spitting at a player, abusing or insulting a referee, and then abusing the fans, opposition fans at a game when he was playing. So, yeah, it's easy to gloss over and forget about your own indiscretions. Anyway, Porto put out this letter. Pep said, what's his response? He said, no, I'm focused on Fulham. Fulham is the important thing. We're in the last 16. That was a target. Now, Fulham. Thoughts on Messi? It's been suggested by a Barcelona board member that he should have been sold in the summer. Pep said, Fulham. I won't talk about other clubs. That's that. Sterling's form. He doesn't need to do anything he hasn't done when we're at the club. His contribution at this club has been incredible. I speak to the players every day. Him and Aki and Laporte and De Bruyne and Torres and Gunnar all want to play, all of them. So this was the response to whether Raheem Sterling has asked for more playing time. And Pep said he has. And Ake, Laporte, Walker, Cancelo, Ruben, Eric. I don't know how Ruben Dias would be asking for more game time because he's getting the maximum. Eric, De Bruyne, Ferran Torres, Gabriel Jesus, and Gunnar. Yeah, everybody wants more game time. Sadly, by throwing in Ruben Dias there, I just don't believe Pep. Simple as that. He's the manager, but no, I don't believe that. I don't believe, personally, I might be wrong. I don't believe Ruben Dias is going to ask him for more minutes because if he's starting and finishing it pretty much every game, how can he ask for more minutes? Asked about Fernandinho's contract. He said, the contracts aren't my part of the club. I'm not a manager, just a trainer. How he is important for the club, his last game against Porto showed his importance. We need him a lot this season. Last season, we needed him a lot in a position with injuries. We only have 2 in his position. Now he's coming back. The club will talk about his contract. Do you think he might get another 12 months? Do you want him to get another 12 months? Foden's landmark. Foden, it could be his 50th Premier League appearance. Pep said, we are more than delighted to have him for the academy, the message he can give, if you have the skills and especially the passion. I love his passion. The only thing in his mind is to be a better player for himself, his club, his national country. He's a dream come true for managers. Normally, when you become older, he loses it. But the first thing he is looking for in training is the ball to play with his mates. The first achievement is 50 games. He'll play much, much more in the future. Hopefully, he can have the passion to improve. But knowing him, it will happen. 700 games as a manager. Would you say to yourself 15 years ago, Pep said 700 games. I will do 700 more than retire. I never expected it. It's good to have 700 games with a few defeats in these games. For all the players and staff we had in Barca B, first team, Bayern and here, it's a great number. With all the people, we made incredible things together and hopefully we can do more in the future. That's it. He pretty much rattled through that. I make it 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes for the first part of the press conference. Just battered his way through there. So that's it. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Do you think? No, as I said, I don't think Aguero is certainly not going to be fit to start the derby. Certainly not, in my opinion. And to be honest, maybe not even on the bench. The concern is, Chris, he's been out. He was out for 3 to 4 months. Then he came back for 3.5 games, and then he's been injured for another 4 or 5 weeks. He's had a little bit of training with the lads. He had 10 or 20 minutes the other day, and he's got some inflammation or some flare up in the knee. So the concern is he's not right. It's not normal, in my opinion. It's not normal to have that long out, come back for a little bit, then go out again. Come back for 20 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, then go out again. Something's up, and that's the concern. I'm sure they'll be concerned about it as well. They're not good. They cannot afford to rush him. And for me, somebody in the summer, in winter, in January, they could really be looking at somebody because we cannot go into the rest of the season with just Gabriel Jesus. If he gets injured again, we're going to be stuck again. Do you think Mahrez and Sterling will play? Michael Pat Donnelly? Yep. I think Mahrez for definite will play. Definitely. Sterling, I think he'll play. I think some people don't want him to play. People say he's not earned it, but I think Mahrez and Sterling will play. Chris Welch, how you doing, buddy? This is why City need a striker because of Aguero. Yeah, look, Aguero's basically not played this season. That's the way to look at Aguero's contribution this season. He hasn't played. He hasn't contributed. And even in the games he played, he didn't contribute. So my concern is, I'm not saying he's finished Tumisang Manguba, but I think I said it 2 seasons ago, he's going downhill. You could see him visibly slowing down, where years ago you'd expect when Aguero made it best past the player, best past the defender never got back to him. Aguero had that power and the pace, and he could maintain it. Whereas now, Aguero's in the situation where he has that initial burst of power that he might be able to get past somebody, but very quickly they get back to him. So he's not got it anymore. So that's going to be a big issue, for Aguero. He's, as I said, you could see him going downhill. It wasn't terribly fast, but you could visibly see it, in my opinion, anyway. And I said that season and a half ago, 2 years ago, we needed somebody else to get them ready to take over. I don't want Gabriel Jesus to be what I don't want is a procession, as in Gabriel Jesus is the next man on the right. It's his turn, and then we'll get somebody else to cover for him. I don't want that. I want somebody now. I wanted somebody in the summer. We've got to get somebody in January or next summer, because you cannot risk everything on hoping Aguero is going to be fit. I think Aguero not being fit has cost us. Not having another striker has cost us, because we didn't play when Jesus was injured. We were playing Ferran Torres or Sterling up front, and I think that probably cost us at least a couple points. Hi, Harry, hope you're well, buddy. My prediction says, Chris, 4-0 to City. You never know. Fulham, hey, look, you can say all you want. Fulham have won 2 games this season. You can say, oh, it's only 2 games. Well, City have only won 4 games. It's not as if we won tons of games more than Fulham. We've only won 2 more games than Fulham, so got to be careful. Michael says, will Sterling play? Yeah, I think Sterling will start, Michael. I think he will. We've seen that Ferran Torres and Foden are generally used in Europe. Foden's not had many games in the league. There's not many starts in the league of late. So that makes me think Sterling, Mahrez, Jesus up front. That's how I see it. But you never know. Torres could start instead of Sterling. But I think those 3 for me. I don't think Aguero's finished, as I said. I'm trying to pick my fantasy captain, and I'm scared Sterling won't play, because if he does... Well, the thing is, Michael, I'd pick somebody who you'd expect to play, KDB. KDB's your man. Last week, I know my lad put KDB in and either dropped Son or Sterling or somebody, or even Salah. And I was umming and ahhing about it, because the only way I could squeeze him in was to either drop Sterling or drop Salah. And I said, I'll keep them in. And Sterling didn't play. And I had Sterling as captain. And I wish I'd put De Bruyne in, because he got 10 points, doubled up to 20. And I kept Salah. So I got the extra. And he was my captain in the end. So I got an extra 6 points out of him. But can you imagine having KDB instead? 20 points makes a big difference. So I would be more likely to pick KDB. Would love City to get Haaland. Can't see it happening, says Paul. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough ask, but you just never know. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, if you don't ask the question, you're never going to find out. And I think that's the important thing. If you don't ask the question, you're never going to find out. And I said with Lord Sora Martinez this summer, I said, ask the question of Inter. If you want him, put a bid in of 50 million. See what they say. Now, Inter, if I remember correctly, they're about 150 million short. This COVID-19 is hitting them as it hits everybody else. They're getting no fans at games. Yeah, that's costing them money. I don't know how much it's costing Inter, but if City's anything to go by, Inter must be losing at least 30-40 million euros a season for that. So, and other things with COVID, they're not getting the money. So they and no one's buying the players. No one's spending big. It was only Chelsea spending really big. City spent okay, but your Real Madrids and your Barcelonas weren't spending big money, because they can't. So that's what I said. Put a bid in. You never know what might happen. Haaland out for a year. I've not read that. I've not read that. I heard he was injured, but I focus on City first and foremost, and then other bits and pieces I pick up. But it's City. City are my team, and that's why I'm going to focus on them more than anything or anybody else. Let's have a look at what's going down. If you aren't watching, I was watching the Academy game, the EDS, and they were playing against Brighton. So Liam Delap scored a tap-in, but well worked and well placed. Adrian Benabi to Felix Nemecha. Nemecha on the left burst past his man, put it across the 6-yard area, and Liam Delap scored. I saw Cole Palmer have a nice shot. Liam Delap had another one that just went past the post. So City had 3 or 4 chances in that first half. They're winning 2-0 now. James McAtee capitalised on a spilt ball from the keeper, and he scrambled it in from a couple of yards out. So after about an hour gone, or something, just more than an hour gone, City winning 2-0. So it looks like that game is done and dusted. Let's see what else is here. Chris's fantasy team: Mendy, James, Zuma, Cody, Robertson, Højbjerg, Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez, Salah, Kane, Son. Yeah. No, 80 million is too much, Latil. 50 to 60 million for me. Chelsea Mendy isn't in for injured Alisson, says Chris. I don't know. I mean, Edison's done all right. Edison's done all right in goal. City have had 6 clean sheets out of the last 8, so Edison's actually a good call. I don't know. I mean, mine. I started off with the big players in my team. Sane. No, not sorry. Salah, Mane, KDB, Sterling. But I got let down. And Son and Kane. Basically, after that, I had no money left. So that's been a bit of an expensive job. I'm just checking the time, guys. I've got a class in 30 minutes. So I've got to get prepared for that. As usual, busy day. I've got a class, and then I've got the preview. I'm doing a preview of Everton versus City. Everton women's versus City women. I'm doing that preview this evening, and then hopefully later on I'll come back and do a stream. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. Martinez more realistic than Haaland. Yeah, I agree with that, Monomer. I think there's more teams want Haaland. More teams are willing to pay 100 million for Haaland than 50 or 60 million for Martinez, in my opinion. Yeah, Chris, I think the agent's a big problem for Haaland, but and he said Alfie then, but you got to hope. You could have some hope, haven't you? You could have a little bit of hope that it might happen that we get Haaland, and it would be. Can I say this? It would be a game changer. It really would be. I think a game changer if we got Haaland. He's got the height, 6 foot plus. He's got the strength and power and pace, agility. He does know where the goal is. And you can argue he's not going to get a lot of space behind. He doesn't need a lot of space behind because, you know, if we're getting behind and if we're putting crosses in, he's there to get the crosses in the air. And if we're putting low balls in, he's there as well. I think he's a fantastic player. I really do. He'd be my number one choice upgrade. Oh, come on, Chris. Anybody's an upgrade on Firmino. Even Danny Ings is an upgrade on Firmino, isn't he? Right, guys. Any other news city-wise today? I've not seen anything else going through. I have a quick look. Mahrez has been shortlisted for goal of the month for November. About who the others are. Obviously, Patrick Vieira has been given the boot at Nice, which is they lost the last 5 games in different competitions. But look, I mean, they're mid-table in France, but they're only 6 points off second, okay? And they've got a game in hand. So they're 6 points off second, game in hand, and he got the boot. They lost the last 2 games in the league, but, it's really tough. Puskas Award nomination. Caroline Weir last week became the first Manchester City player to be nominated for the FIFA Puskas Goal of the Year award with her goal against United in the derby last season. So that's interesting. Diego Rosa, who we talked about in the summer, he's finally said farewell to Gremio. He's coming to City in January. He's going to go out on loan. He's not going to stay at City. Now, the initial deal, as we discussed in the past, was £5 million. Could rise up to £23 million. Now, the £23 million is, if he comes to the Premier League, I think it's about £15 million or whatever, 12 or £15 million from just if he plays. I think if he plays anywhere in the Premier League, there's a bonus. And if he plays at City in the Premier League, there's a bigger bonus. I've got a call there. Do you want to take this? Get my lad to talk to music teacher. So I should really deal with that. But I'm after this a big guys. I'm going to have to deal with that and sort the music teacher out. It looks like Simon Majewski from the Master of News San Diego also looks like he's going to LMLSK in Belgium. I think that sounds quite likely. Guys, any of the comments and then I'll disappear. But I don't care whoever comes in as Aguero success in the City run. Absolutely Monomela. Josh is not great. Oh yeah, I think so, Chris. I really did the way he started. Ghost, who do you think City will buy this summer? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I want a striker. Salah, Haaland, Mane, that would be horrible for the rest of the Premier League, Chris. You're going to get Mbappe, Chris. So, look, what's going to happen is City are going to get Haaland and Messi this summer, and you're going to get Mbappe. So it's going to be, incredible next season in the Premier League. Right, guys, I think that's it. It's 20 minutes. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to sort out the music teacher, and then I'm going to get ready for my own class. Guys, look after yourselves. Hopefully, I'll see you around 9ish this evening if I'm doing another stream. And until then, guys, stay safe.